Elected Chandrasekhar Chitre sir, Central Council member. Today's speaker, Asim sir, and all the august audience attending this webinar from all over nation. Very good afternoon and namaskar. Myself C.A. Samir Ladda, moderator of this session and coordinator between speaker and the members. Welcome all the dignitaries on the dais or on the screen and off the screen for this webinar. The chartered accountant profession is having esteemed goodwill, and the whole nation looks after us as most ethical professional and believes in our words. It is expected from every one of us to fulfill such expectation, and we are a partners in nation building. Start with, I will like to introduce Honorable Central Council Member C.S. Chandrasekhar Chitre sir, who is also chairman of the Ethical Standard Board for 2024-26.
That much introduction is sufficient. Maybe we can skip other things.
Okay.
Yeah.
As the Chitre sir is continuous Central Council member, uh, he is in third consecutive terms. All the members know him very well. So I request Chitre sir for opening remarks of this session. Over to you, sir.
Well, thank you, Honorable Speaker CA Asim Kumar Trivedi ji, Moderator Samir Ladda ji, our Secretary to ESB. Since the ESB has started, his continuing Secretary Ashish Bhatnagar ji, and all of you members present. It's indeed a pleasure to come to you with a webcast on uh, topics relating to Ethical Standards Board. When we thought of this webcast, the first name came to our mind is we should start this webcast with Asim Trivedi, because informally he holds world record of delivering lectures on Ethical Standards Board as far as ICI is concerned, because of his in-depth knowledge about the code of ethics, about the CA Act and do's and don'ts. I think people refer to him because a sure shot solution is received, and he is candid in saying if it is no, no, if it is yes, yes. It is not in between, and that versatility has certainly made us think that okay, we should start this series with Asim Bhai, and we are indeed very grateful to you, Asim Bhai, for accepting our invitation and today agreeing to deliver the session. Friends, various provisions of the CA Act 1949 as well as Code of Ethics, they are age old. Maybe they require certain refurbishment with the change in times. To cite couple of examples, maybe now chartered accountants are not practicing merely as chartered accountants. Some are specializing in direct taxes, some are specializing in indirect taxes, some are doing only audits, some are doing information technology work, management consultancy. As far as the description of a professional and our profession is concerned, the description what we can write as per Chartered Accountants Act at present is only chartered accountant. So it does not denote the area specialization of a person. Like in case of medical profession, you have orthopedic, you have gynecologist, and you have several such as the ENT specialist. So if there is a particular disease, then you go to a right kind of a doctor. You don't keep on going from pillar to post. Which doctor will cure, say, if your hand is fractured or leg is fractured. Likewise, if there is an issue in GST, the stakeholder should tap door of a chartered accountant who is specializing in GST. Because if they go to a person who is not addressing GST, ultimately time for both would be a waste. So maybe we can think of changing law enabling writing specialization against the name. This, because it is a provision of the Chartered Accountants Act, maybe it will require act change, and Ethical Standards Board will take steps to do this. Take another example of advertisement. Chartered accountants are not allowed to solicit, advertise. We appreciate. But now there are various areas where besides chartered accountants, others are also rendering services. Take simple example from accounts writing to management consultancy, to taxes consultancy, to ERP, to IT consultancy. In various areas, investment consultancy, the chartered accountants have digressed. they are allowed also to render these type of services. But the issue is that there is a complete embargo on advertisement. So while others are able to advertise, maybe simple thing like accounts writing in South Africa, one will go and advertise. In India, one will go and advertise if he is not a chartered accountant. But if he is a chartered accountant, then he cannot do so. So it would be unfair that in an area where a chartered accountant is competing with others, or others are competing with chartered accountants, and they are allowed to advertise, then chartered accountant is not allowed to advertise, then a level playing ground may not be available. So such areas we will be taking up this time for the purpose of our consideration, to recommend the government to make changes. Whatever changes we can make as a under the authority of the council or the ethical standards board to open up the profession, we'll try and do so. In the meanwhile, it is necessary to take home various issues relating to code of ethics, relating to do's and don'ts under our ethics. And friends, try to understand the professional is distinguished from a commoner only due to adherence of ethics. So, and there is no substitute whether you should to ethics, and we have to uphold them and we have to follow them. If there is any breach, disciplinary committees and other mechanism is there, they set into motion and appropriate punitive action is taken. Of course, we are not suggesting that for that action, but let us be within the four corners of law, and to know those things, let us engage ourselves in such type of presentations. So I once again thank Samir Ladda for coordinating, and Asim Trivedi for agreeing to address our members, and for all this physical coordination. Ashish Swarup Bhatnagar has been very instrumental. So I thank all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Jitesh sir, for opening remarks and sharing your wisdom of knowledge with us. And now it is my great pleasure to introduce our today's speaker, Asim Trivedi sir. Asim Trivedi sir is a fellow member of ICI and is specially known in the country for his weekly column Jama Punji in Hindi National Daily Newspaper Patrika. He has vast experience in the field of Companies Act, internal audits, accounting and auditing standards, and currently working in training implementation of IFRS and New Companies Act 2013. He is author of bestseller books on Coro 2020 and Schedule 3 for CA professionals published by LBH Publishers. He is nationwide faculty known for his corporate allied laws, auditing, Ind AS, IFRS, and business laws. He had delivered more than 1,800 seminars on ICI platform. He is recognized national speakers on various topics like company law, accounting, auditing standards, IFRS, and Companies Act. He has contributed in ICI New Delhi on various committees, various different tasks, various advisory boards. He has contributed many guidance notes and like Bank Audit 2005. He is co-opted member of CSL under Accounting Standards Boards. He has served at many capacities on different capacities for ICI members. His profile is so big that it will take lot of times to reintroduce him. So welcome Asim Trivedi sir on behalf of all the participants and ICI, and I hand over to session to you sir for your guidance.
You, Ladaji. Thank you, Chairman sir. It's again being pleasure to be with you in Ethical Standard Board this time again. And hope, Ashish ji, I'll be happy to be disturbed by you so many times about anything. Whereas you are saying, sir, we are disturbing you. You are not disturbing me, sir. I'm contributing to ESB since long, and we definitely going to have this particular year also uh, various tasks which we need to complete this time. And Chitle sir is here, so I think no, all the efforts will be there just to streamline the things which are really in pipeline and which need all the R in code of ethics. Whenever a code of ethics comes to our mind, first thing which comes to our mind is that yes, it is a mandatory CPR requirement. Now, important is why this CPR requirement relating to code of ethics has been made mandatory, that some portion of the CPRs must be there for code of ethics, just because there are ethical expectations. And these ethical expectations are there in current landscape from all the authorities, whether it is MCA, whether it is RBI, whether it is CB, whether it is banking sector. In that case, whatever disciplinary cases which we have published at our ethical standards boards site, where uh, ethical ethical issues have been discussed in form of all the practical case studies. So today I have taken some of the case studies before you, just to demonstrate what society wants from us, what is their expectation, what is their ethical expectation with us, what are the sector-wise regulatory landscape, the sector-wise regulatory concerns relating to our ethical behavior. There are disciplinary repercussions in the real world cases related to these particular areas. And finally, what is the public perception and the professional responsibility? I had gone through so many cases which have been determined, which have been decided by the disciplinary committee, board of discipline over the years. We have digest of those cases 23, 24, 24, 25, 22, 23. Here, list of cases. And right now, I'm just demonstrating certain cases before you, just to share that what kind of expectation public has from us. So let's move to certain cases. Just I think it is visible, Ashishji.
Yes, sir, it is visible, sir.
Yes, it is visible.
Yeah, thank you. I have taken case one, Deputy ROC, Delhi versus C. Akshay Mathur. This case has some facts. The respondent certified form number AOC4 XBRL for the financial years 1718 and 1819 for Messrs. Lakeland Gloves and Sticks and Apparels Private Limited. Company has a wholly owned subsidiary, Lakeland India Private Limited, with an investment of 79,992. Form number AOC1, mandatories for subsidiaries as per section 129(3) of the Companies Act, was not attached with AOC4. The respondent argued that form number AOC1 was only necessary for foreign subsidiaries as per form AOC4 XBRL instructions. Now look, we all know that how we are involved in filing of these forms are. We go to MCA site, we don't download the forms, we download the toolkit, we download the instructions which are given with the form. Now, important is, what is expectation of regulator? Regulator says that whatever form we have given is not only a form, and you need not only to read the instruction. Kindly go through the rule Rule 5, Section 129, Companies Accounting Rules 2014, AOC 1. Just go through the rule and then you will find that it was equally applicable for foreign subsidiaries also. Now, important is key Indian subsidiary, foreign subsidiary, and investment when it is required under form number AOC 1 that you have to file it, then how can you argue that authority clarified that Companies Act and its rule take precedence over the conflicting form instruction? Obligation is there that you have to attach that particular form. Now, important is that respondent who failed to attach the form on the basis of instruction, and that instruction within the form is given, it is missing a particular line that it is only necessary for foreign subsidiaries, so it is not necessary for Indian subsidiaries. No, it was applicable to Indian subsidiaries also, and not only for the foreign subsidiaries. So there is a violation of filing of a form, and a disciplinary action has been taken against the member that he is guilty of professional misconduct because he has been negligent in performing his duties. Now, important is, was there any fraud? No. Was there any siphoning of funds? No. Was there a deliberate hiding the information from the authorities? No. Then what is not there? Non-compliance with laws and regulation. Laws and regulation requires that the form should have attached this particular subsidiary's detail, and you have failed to attach those details with the form. If we look at our perspective, from our perspective, so we would say just the form has not been, or just an information related to subsidiary has not been attached. It is not at all a misconduct because there was no intention to hide certain things, intention to manipulate something. It was just an ignorance of law. But, my dear friends, we are chartered accountants. The highest level of accuracy is expected from public perspective. Highest level of accuracy is expected from the society as a whole. So wherever we are saying that itni hi si to baat thi, but it is not itni hi si to baat because they need us to be vigilant enough to locate these kind of mistakes. And that's why they have made us responsible to verify all these forms and all these formalities relating to Companies Act. Why Companies Act made chartered accountants equivalent to company secretary at many of the places where the forms are required? Why Companies Act gave us the same platform as which is given to advocates also to verify these forms? Just because they know their expectation is that yes, if a chartered accountant is there is bound to be 100% accuracy in this particular manner, and public stake is there in companies, so there must be fullest possible information attached with the forms, so it should be verified by the chartered accountant. So now this is something which we fail, then it is again said that yes, there is a fault on our behalf. Another case again from deputy RC. I am not taking a single case where the fraud is there. One or two nominal cases I'm going to take related to fraud or misfeasance and all that. I'm just today enlightening that whatever work is being done in our office related to ROC is giving rise to many disciplinary cases. I have another case. Respondent certified form number DIR 12. It's way back when DIR 12 certification was there. The respondent certified from DIR 12 for appointing Shri Umapati as a director of Messrs Skyline Innovation Technology India Private Limited. Form number DIR 2 attached with the DIR 12 left section blank regarding the director's interest in other entities. The respondent argued that verifying the director's disclosure was not his responsibility. The counter argument from the disciplinary authorities of ICAI was, if it was not your duty to verify the director's disclosure, then what was your duty? Just to attach a form and upload. We are not kiosk where just a form has to be filled and get uploaded. We are not online kiosk. We are someone who is responsible to see what is being uploaded, how accurately it is being uploaded, how accurately it has been filled, whether all the information which are filled in this particular form are true in all sense. If a chartered accountant is failure to verify the accuracy of disclosure, he will be guilty of the professional misconduct under clause number 7 of part 1 of the second schedule of the Chartered Accountants Act 1949. Authority have clarified that certifying professional is obliged to ensure the correctness of all the fields related to attached document, including all disclosures. How can one leave these sections blank without verification? It constitutes a lapse in due diligence. Rule 8 of Companies Registration of Office and Fee Schools 2014 explicitly places responsibility for the correctness of certifying professionals. And hence, the chartered accountant has been found guilty for professional misconduct in this case also. Now see, in our normal, if I give this particular slide to our office guys, even in my office, they won't take it seriously. तो उससे सर क्या हुआ? एक कॉलम में तो ब्लैंक हो गया, ठीक है सर, ओवरलुक हो गया, अपलोड हो गई, ठीक है, ऐसा कौन सा फ्रॉड हो गया, ऐसे कौन से मिसफेजेंस हो गया, ऐसा कौन सा पब्लिक इंटरेस्ट हार्म हो गया? एक प्राइवेट लिमिटेड कंपनी थी, उसका DIR 12 ही तो था, और DIR 12 के अंदर भी जो DIR 2 फॉर्म था उसका ही तो एक कॉलम लेफ्ट हो गया, इसमें क्या है ऐसा बड़ा? लुक, very simple. Chitle Saab like many times said this, and we all start our code of ethics lectures by this, that either code of ethics is absolute or it is nothing. Kaizen required here. Zero error. Even if a silly mistake is there, it is not expected from us. It is not expected from this fraternity itself. It is not expected from a stature of a chartered accountant, then he can overlook a particular column where the things are required to be filled and he did not verify that and he just signed it. overlooking, overgeneralization, inappropriate assumptions, all the three are unacceptable because we have one thing in common in all, and that's called professional skepticism. If we have professional skepticism, if we apply professional skepticism, which is an attitude of an auditor, attitude of a chartered accountant, of being questioning mind, of being alert towards the situation which are indicating that there may be fraud, or which make him alert not to overlook, not to ignore, not to overgeneralize. So all these things are definitely going to be with the auditor that he has not exercised due diligence and he was grossly negligent in conduct of his duty, which has been again decided in this case. I'm saying I have taken those cases where no financial fraud is involved. I'm taking those cases where perception of the authority, where the authority's perspective, we are guilty just because we have not exercised due diligence. So, friends, we have to be very careful whenever we are attesting a single document. Now, tell me one more thing. Today, we have this unethical standard board से अच्छा कोई प्लेटफॉर्म नहीं हो सकता इन सब बातों को रखने के लिए. Now, important one question whenever I deal these slides in various seminars, member asks me, सर इन छोटे छोटे कामों में डिसिप्लिनरी एक्शन लेकर इंस्टीट्यूट क्या साबित करना चाहते? दैट इज क्वेश्चन फ्रॉम मेंबर्स कि छोटे से केस DIR-12, DIR-2, AOC-1, इन छोटे छोटे से ब्लैंक चीजों में और इन सब चीजों में मेंबर के खिलाफ डिसिप्लिनरी एक्शन ले लिया जाना, इसमें हम क्या चाहते हैं? मतलब वेयर वी आर हेडिंग टुवर्ड्स? सर इट इज वेरी सिंपल. Who said certification of work which carries a signature of a chartered accountant is a very petty work or very small work or very, I think, neglected work? Who defines this? Which work of ours is a very low magnitude work or it is a very lighter work I must say this work doesn't carry the same weight what weight carried by the statutory audit and all that. Who are we? Are we not discriminating with our assignments? Our signature carries the same weight, whether it has been used for a DIR-2 or DIR-12 or AOC-1, or it is being used to sign a bank certificate, or it is being used to sign a net wealth certificate, or it is being used to sign annual return, or it is being used to sign the annual report. It carries the same weight. We have discriminated. Our fees related to this form is pretty low as compared to the other assignment. Does it give us a right to decide that this work carries less weight than statutory audit? Not at all. First of all, we have to change our perspective. Sometimes it happens whenever digital signatures are being uploaded, digital signatures are being used. Many of us, I'm not saying some of us, many of us are completely relying on CA final level brilliant articles in our office. they may upload the form by using our digital signature. If this practice is there, we have to stop it because that digital signature carries the same weight what our normal signature carries. All these forms are being uploaded by using digital signature. We have to be very careful about the digital signature. Where are they? They should not be out of our cabin. They should not be out of our sight. They should be used by us only, by the laptop which is before me on my office table and which is under full control of mine. Then only those digital signatures could be used because whatever cases right now coming, I don't think that if my professional brother had verified once that particular thing, this mistake could have been happened. Have another case. Again, Deputy ROC at Delhi versus CA Pallav Naran. The respondent audited the financial statement of Potential Research Services Private Limited for 1920. Deficiencies included. EPS not disclosed in profit and loss statement. Shareholders detail missing for those holding more than 5%. Omission of related party transactions in financial statement. Respondent claimed clerical errors causes the omission. Again, no financial funds involvement is there. Again, there is nothing to be treated as fraud or a financial fraud or something which is called that breach of trust or whatever you want to say. Accounting Standard 20 clearly mentions, Schedule 3 clearly mentions, Section 129 clearly mentions, Section 133 clearly mentions that EPS, including diluted earning per share, has to be there on the face of the profit and loss account. How can one just omit to mention EPS in P&L? Okay, diluted earning per share may not be required in case of small companies and all that, but still EPS is required. But in case of Schedule 3, shareholders detail, those shareholders who are carrying more than 5% of the paid up share capital has to be shown. If they have not been shown, definitely again there is an omission on part of chartered accountant. Omission of related party transactions. Accounting Standard 18 clearly mentions that if there is related party anytime during the year, if there are related party transactions during the related party relationships, those transactions need to be disclosed on following parameters, and they have given parameters, not one, two, they have given 4, 5, 6 parameters. What was the who was the related party involved? What was the relation? What is the transaction amount? How much proportion that transaction carries over the overall proportion of the transactions? Any special terms and conditions with related party regarding that particular transactions? What is the outstanding balance in the financial statement relating to that particular transaction? Whether any write back or write off is there relating to that particular transactions. When Accounting Standard 18 needs not only one disclosure, it needs at least 6, 7 disclosure. Whenever there are transactions with a related party, if someone says, I just forget to, how can it is acceptable? How can it be acceptable? It is required means it is required. It is required. Means it is required. No if, no but. We have to give it. And we fail to invite attention of the user about the misstatement existed in the financial statement. Clause number 7 comes later. Clause number 6 of the part first of the second schedule comes before. How we can fail to invite attention of the user towards a misstatement because something which is omitted, which is material to disclose, that omission is also known as what? Misstatement. So it is very, very important what exactly misstatement is. And non-compliance with accounting standard 20, non-compliance with accounting standard 18, violation of section 129. Now, what is public expectation? Is this expectation is too high that someone is expecting that whatever disclosure of accounting standard 20 and accounting standard 18 is required in private limited companies financial statement? Again, the same thing comes. What kind of audit fees they are giving us? Sir, if you feel that audit fees is low, we cannot compromise with the quality of the audit. No. If fees is low, don't accept the appointment. If you cannot channelize your resources, if you cannot harness your resources in that particular cost, whatever offered by the client, is it necessary to accept the same? Quality control SQC1 clearly mentions before accepting the appointment, kindly ensure that with this particular fees, whether we will be able to do justice with our duty, whether we will be able to deliver a quality audit, whether we will be able adhere with the technical and professional requirements within this particular cost. And if we cannot, we should not accept the appointment because due to fees, we cannot compromise with the quality of work which we are performing. So this is something again very important. This particular case again shows us that naturally small disclosure, omission of small disclosure, even a disclosure which may not have a financial impact to a public at large. You can say this is a private limited company and EPS has to be used by the board of directors and all that. Who is going to invest in this particular company by using that particular accounting standard 20 information? Who is going to invest in this particular company by using accounting standard 18 related party disclosure? Sir, let us see. Today, this company is small. This may become unicorn in flash of seconds. Huge investors will come in and historical data is audited by us. If there is something fishy in related party transactions, then there will be a problem. So all these accounting standard requirements which are there are not for the time being. That is for our users to come, not users of the financial statement for this particular point of time. Many users are there. There may be some fresh equity investors may come on the basis of valuation and all that. If suppose this balance sheet comes to me next year, and if say Asim Bhai just value the equity shares of this company, what I'm going to do? I will have the past year's balance sheets. And definitely I will go to the vital information. What is structure of this particular company? What are the related party transactions and dealing with related parties and dealing with non-related parties so that I can evaluate its independence. I can evaluate the independence of its profit. I can evaluate the dependence of its profit over other subsidiaries. If suppose a venture capitalist comes and says that I want to invest in this particular company 20 CR, Asim bhai, just evaluate this value of the equity shares and with all perspective, just give it a due diligence. Whenever I'll perform due diligence, then I will catch this particular thing that what happens is AS 20 is not there, AS 18 is not there, Section 129 is not there, Schedule 3 requirements are not there. Who has signed this balance sheet? You never know. When you are ignorance may caught attention of others. So we should be vigilant enough. Clerical errors from chartered accountant, unacceptable. Authority rejected the defense, stating that responsibility lies with auditor to ensure the accuracy. Omission should have been flagged in the audit report and whatever explanations you are giving to disciplinary committee are just your afterthoughts. This line in the decision itself is alarming. Whenever a notice comes to us that you have omitted this, show a cause why a disciplinary action not been taken against you due to this negligence. Give us an explanation. Then that is very important. While drafting our explanation, we should not give lame excuses. If there is an error or negligence on our part, we should accept it. Sometimes we give in our answers some unacceptable arguments, and the authority clearly mentioned in their decision that documents submitted later, whatever documents you have submitted in your uh, support, they were all afterthoughts. Because if that thought had been given previously, this mistake could have not been there. If you read the orders given by the disciplinary authority, pinpointedly, you will get an idea that how minutely these disciplinary committee observe all these lapses. So we have to be very cautious. This is another case. Another case came again from ROC Mumbai. Being it as a Delhi, being it as a Mumbai, be it as Chennai, be it as Indore, Jaipur, Jodhpur, wherever. Ignorance is a problem, and authorities' perspective over our little ignorance is very harsh. Respondent certified form number INC 22, Mrs. Green Elephant Games Private Limited. He declared that he has personally visited the registered office, which was later revealed to be a false claim. Evidence showed his reliance on a third party for verification. Companies being incorporated, a virtual office was there. Only fax and email of that place has been used. In that particular office, which is addressed in this company's INC 22, another company is having full-fledged operations. Only an email and a fax number has been treated as what? Office of the company. There was no office of the company. It was a very false claim. If just, I'm just giving an example. If a SIM card is being issued to this Green Elephant Games Private Limited, even those telephone company guys comes and verify where is your board, where is your office. If you have just a flags affixed over there, simple 2x2 flags affixed over there with the name, they don't accept it. They say no, a board means a board which looks like a board of the company. It should not be like एक 2x2 का आपने एक flags चिपका दिया and that is your. No, they reject it. If you go to any SIM card company, they won't offer SIM to any private limited company without having such verifications. All verifications are being done. Director's photo, director's live photo, director's KYC, company's KYC, company's MO&OA. You are having all diligence. Just issuing a SIM card to the company. We are issuing financial statement of the company. We are issuing, we are incorporating a company. Now tell me one thing. SIM card issuing telecom company relying on whom? Relying on me. Because the chartered accountant has verified the registered address of the company over which he is issuing the SIM. I've just taken an example of a simple telecom SIM. After that, a bank account is going to be opened. After that, that particular private company is going to have entered into contract with others. After that, many of the users of the financial statement would be there. This company is going to be registered with GST. This company has its PAN. This company has its company identification number. They all are registered at a fake office, which is not there in existence. Now, important is authorities have given us an authority to verify. Go personally, send your article, have documentation, have your article, went there, with whom he met, what he observed, was there a company, was there an office, did he verify the rent agreement or this NOC of someone whose premise is there, what documents are attached with the IROC form, all the documents which are attached are related to that. अभी एक केस आएगा in the next two cases. Whatever address is being certified in INC 22 and whatever supporting document attached, they are entirely giving different area, different name, different address. And chartered accountant is certifying and uploading the forms. There the authorities are receiving different kind of documents for different name and entity. Then they are again objecting, what is this? What is the sense of getting verified it by a chartered accountant? They are even not bothering to check what kind of documents are being uploaded in this particular form. Look, for me and you, this work, if it seems to you that this work is not of your stature, let us don't accept them. Let it be done by the juniors. Let it be done by the juniors of the profession who are entering into the profession, having their dreams in their eyes. Let them do this. Why should we do all these works? Let me tell you. If we are not interested at all in doing all these things, why we are accepting this? Should not accept this. So important is कि कोई काम छोटा हमारे मान लेने से छोटा नहीं होता ना, यूजर के पर्सपेक्टिव से तो वो बहुत बड़ा है. इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. आई एम जस्ट गिविंग यू a particular example that if there was a story, it was a very eye-opening story that had a particular sweet shop. That sweet shop was very famous and very big shop of a particular area in a city. Everyone comes and purchases expensive sweets, 800 rupees kgs, 1000 rupees kgs, 2000 rupees kgs. They are all having those, they're purchasing those sweets. Suddenly, a very poor guy comes to particular uh, shop, and that poor guy who is coming to that particular shop is asking just for 250 grams of a very uh, kind of a sweet which has very less rates. Shopkeeper, he was watching that particular poor guy who is just asking his employee to give him 250 grams of sweet, which is not having considerable rates, which does not being a material kind of a sale. Still, he raised from his chair. He came to that particular person. He asked that person, which sweet you want. He said this. No, sir. You have to taste this also. You have to taste this also. You have to taste this also. Just have a taste and then decide what you want. Then that particular poor fellow tasted all the sweets and he decided to buy this 250 gram sweets. Yes, just give me this. When that poor fellow got, just went out after having sweets, an employee came to the master and said, sir, that poor guy just having 250 grams of sweets and you are putting so much efforts on him. Shopkeeper says, my sweet carries priceless value in his eyes. I should see my product through his eyes rather than I should see my product through my eyes. For me, all such products are same. For me, all that product of having 250 kg, 250 rupees kg, and this product is of 4,000 rupees per kg. These are my products. This is my perception. I was looking his perception. That poor fellow who has his salary of 10,000 or 12,000 rupees per month, if he is coming to this particular shop and getting some sweets from this branded shop, he carries this carries weight of my goodwill, this carries a weight of my name, this carries weight of my fame. And if I'm not taking care of him, I should not have any right to sit here in this shop and sell all these sweets. Which shop which is established by forefathers. See the perception. And the same perception we have with this legacy of chartered accountants which we are carrying is not of only our CA final examination clear and signing the financial statement. This legacy has been created by our forefathers. Since 1949 till this date, we are in a monopolistic situation just because the hard work these council members put in, hard work the past presidents put in, hard work they have represented our profession before the authorities. This all carries weight. Sir, just signing a small form. Now just see that who requires your form to be signed? An aspiring young blood who is coming with huge dreams in his small eyes, coming for a startup. He just come to you and says that, sir, I need a Gumasta license, shop and establishment act license. I need a PAN. I need TAN. I need GSTIN. I need a company to be incorporated. I need MNAOA. Sir, I need your guidance for bank account opening and all that. Assign a particular person to him and ask that person to give him good time, good quality services because our brand is associated with that. He came to us not having money in his pocket right now, but he values our services. If he values our services, if MCA values our services, if others are valuing our services, why should we devalue our services? Authority's perspective is very different. Again, this the respondent certified from INC 22A, CRRC Pioneer Electric India Private Limited. Attachments mean to show registered office and director photos were blank. The respondent blamed technical error in the MC portal. This may remind you instances in your office where we are uploading the returns, when we are uploading the forms, technical glitches are coming all the way. Whenever technical glitches are there, kindly do one thing. Keep a photograph of it, keep a screenshot of it. That at this time I was uploading, there was certain technical error. Yes. If you have any suspicion that whether the things attached are being have been uploaded or not, if you're not sure that the form which has been sent has actually been sent or not because of technical glitches, kindly ensure that you have enough evidence to demonstrate. Because in this case, no argument has been sustained. By saying that there is technical error in MCA portal. फॉर्म गया, फॉर्म के साथ साथ फोटोग्राफ्स नहीं गए, डायरेक्टर फोटो नहीं गए, रजिस्टर्ड ऑफिस के डॉक्यूमेंट्स जो हैं वो अटैच नहीं हो पाए. Can we believe that a chartered accountant has been found guilty of professional misconduct under clause number 7 of the part first of the second schedule? Authority says respondent is responsible for ensuring error-free submissions, regardless of portal glitches. The respondent provided no proof that the error was entirely technical. Some may argue that it may be fault of your internet connection, not of MCA portal. How can you establish it? If server error is there, it has to be appear on screen. By just saying that there was a server error, it had not been uploaded and attached, I'm not responsible for that. For authorities, this perspective is very different. That is known as what? So, perspective of authority, perception of authority is absolute. You need to be absolutely accurate because you are a chartered. If you are not a chartered accountant, anybody can expect. As you are chartered accountant, we cannot expect this. Now, after all these case laws, just have one more case. Respondent accept excess tax payments from the complainant without informing her. This act breached the trust of complainant and undermined the public confidence in profession. Sometimes it happens. Client comes to us and says that I'm going somewhere for a month long. So you just take care of all my taxes. I'm giving you this money. Please deposit this money in your account and utilize this money for the purpose of paying the taxes. This is usual practice. And we have opened a separate bank account for clients' money. We keep that particular amount in that particular account. And we just forget it. कि ठीक है, भर देंगे. Now, apart from this case, I'm going in different approaches or to different circumstances. Suppose we have deposited the amount in the bank and our staff just forget to remind us that the advance tax of the client has to be paid. And if that client comes and says that due to your non-payment of advance tax, there is an interest of this much, but I just want to bring your negligence before your institute. Okay, 234 ABC interest will be there, no problem. I'll pay this. But I cannot expect this from you that you should not pay my advance tax despite I have given you the amount. Definitely. That ignorance is not acceptable. Second case. He gave us 1 lakh rupees. We have used nearly 60,000 rupees for all his tax payments. 40,000 is lying with us. It is our duty. Whenever he comes, we have to return the money to him. We have to give all reconciliation of whatever we have expended on his behalf. Now, if we forget, we forgot to give him a complete reconciliation of all expenses and all that. And suddenly, at one point of time, you have disputes with him regarding some other matter. And when he said कि ठीक है मुझे आपसे काम नहीं करना, I am going back. Now he sits in his office and reconcile his bank statement and found that whatever bill you have raised and whatever money he has paid, money paid is excess and bill received is less. Look at this case. This may be the case. God knows. The respondent accepted excess tax payments from the complainant without informing her. This act breached the trust of complainant. Complainant is saying that he had taken 2 lakh rupees, 3 lakh rupees from me and had just paid 45,000. That's a breach of trust. So this would be under clause 2 of part 4 of the first schedule to the chartered accountant. That is bringing disrepute to the profession. Very clearly. The respondent admitted that he had taken excess payment but failed to justify this act. The decision-making authority highlighted that Such action severely damages the credibility of the profession. The respondent's name was removed from ICI membership for 3 months, and a fine of 1 lakh rupees has been imposed. And today I'm discussing the case. You are permanently on the records of ICA with this particular case. That is more important. 3 months, okay. 1 lakh, okay. Today we are discussing you. That's it. So that's a perception of the authorities. Counter arguments, a section which I kept here, have kept it only with the perspective of the authorities, that what they need from us, how they counter argue us. They just don't accept afterthoughts, because all our responses will become afterthoughts for them, because they are saying whatever you are saying, we cannot make it out that it is reliable. Respondent fraudulently used complainant's TIN and credential to manipulate the tax records. A turnover of 12 to 13 crore was fraudulently shown in complainant's name, leading to tax liabilities. This is serious fraud. March 31st adjustments. Do you need turnover? Do you need GST credit? These are the results of those 31st March malified intentions transactions. Now see, tell me one thing. If I ask my client that would you be accommodating 12, 13 crore rupees in your account, I will offer you a handsome amount, because someone needs expenditure and you are having less turnover this year. So your balance sheet and P&L will be improved. His purpose will also be solved. Both of you will be in a win-win situation. Let me make adjustments and all that. Are you allowing me? He might allow you. And if an authority, मान लीजिए ये GST का केस, and if GST authority threshold that particular fellow whose accounts is being used, and if GST authority goes to him and he says that you did this, though he had given consent, though he was benefited with this particular transaction also, though he got commission out of it also, who is going to take the blame of that? He is going to say that chartered accountant, I am so illiterate person, sir. I don't know GST. I cannot log into GST site, cannot log into my income tax site. All my passwords, all my username, all my other OTP and all, I'm giving to him. See, he asked me OTP. This see my WhatsApp chat. This is OTP given to him by me. He had used my TIN, he had used my credential, he had manipulated tax record. I am so not responsible for that. Now, who is going to prove? And what is going to be proved? He is a businessman. He can do anything. You are a chartered accountant. How can you be involved in this? This is perception of the authorities related to all these things. Counter arguments. The respondent was unable to provide satisfactory explanation for the unauthorized use of PIN and credentials. Nobody can give satisfactory explanation after doing all this. A chartered accountant can't give. Board rejected the defense of unintentional error. How can you say that this is unintentional? Your counter arguments are not tenable. How can you say that 12, 13 crore have been adjusted in one of the client's books without your authorization where you are signing? Something very fishy. Now, next one. The respondent falsely claimed qualification to provide legal and consultancy services, obtained payment of rupees 50 lakh, of which 5 lakhs was encashed under the false pretenses, alleged misuse of NSDC funds under the Project Udan, professional misconduct guilty in item number 11, part 1 of the first schedule. We are chartered accountant. I'm chartered accountant. And I have one more degree with me, LLB. But I have certificate of practice. That's why I cannot have certificate of practice of law. Is it possible for me to give legal advice because I am LLB? I can give legal advice, but I cannot give legal opinion. It's very important. And law consultancy service I can't give. Despite I'm LLB, but specialized law consultancy services. I can advise on company law, I can advise on other laws. As a consultant, I can give, but full-fledged legal consultancy services giving legal opinion is not my domain. And now suppose what happens is if one of my relative is in ministry or if one of my uh, near one is in ministry and he says that NSDC funds are coming, a huge fund is coming in one of the project, then I will say, sir, if you find any opportunity for me, I will definitely be going to play the role of chartered accountant somewhere in your this project. The person who has authority to allot this work has no sense. He has no sense to disseminate between two services, between what services can be given by chartered accountant, what services can be given by lawyer. And if you apply for a tender, if you bid for a work which was solely domain of lawyers, and you got the work, then the other lawyers who did not get the work, and when they see that a chartered accountant is getting the work, definitely they are going and complain that how this work can be given to a chartered accountant is not a lawyer. And a disciplinary case will come before Board of Discipline. Board of Discipline will say, sir, you are guilty in clause number 11 of the part first, the first schedule. How can you allow yourself to practice in area other than chartered accountants? And what is counter argument of the authority? Just see this. The respondent could not justify his claim of being authorized to provide legal services. The board highlighted that Chartered accountant cannot misrepresent himself as a legal expert, and he found guilty of professional misconduct, and disciplinary action has been taken against him. One has to be very clear on this. Another point. The respondent entered agreement with companies under Quinn Investments and raised invoices without providing services. The respondent entered agreements with companies under Quinn Investments and raised invoices without providing the services. Somebody wants GST invoice, and if he comes and says, "Sir, provide me invoice, whatever GST credit I will get, we'll share it." And a chartered accountant gives invoice to that person on 31st of March. There are no invoices were to raise to recover any fees and all that. These may be the cases where the things are really problematic. Respondent submitted two sets of financial statement for Messrs. Ishwari Spinning Mills, one with inflated stock values and one with normal values. How can we issue two financial statement for a single entity for a single financial year? And those inflated value caused financial losses to the bank with 45.80 CR. Submission of multiple statement. What happens is, हमारे साथ भी होता है, हम भी बैंक ऑडिट पे जाते हैं तो देखते हैं that the credit limit which is sanctioned by the company, backed by the stock audit report. We ask bank manager, just get the audited financial statement of this company. And if this company is a public company, the financial statements are in a public domain. If we see the audited financial statement, on those audited financial statement, the stock value is coming something different. And whatever inventory value which is given to bank is different. Bank auditor can object on the same. What's going on? Recently in bank audits, we have seen this kind of anomalies where we have made sure that this should be in MOC, Memorandum of Changes. That should be part of LFAR. If we find this all things. Now, if you found this and you have reported in your bank audit report, and that regional office evaluated the whole matter, and that regional office, when investigated the matter, found two balance sheets of the same chartered accountant for the same financial year, one showing stock something, one showing stock differently. What could be the perception of the user of the financial statement? Let's stop all these stock audits. Why to give these stock audits to chartered accountants? They're certifying something else. One incorrect step, one diverted step brings the whole profession down, brings the whole professional opportunities on stake. One person's. Now, what would be the perception of RBI on this? Chartered accountant values the stock of this much. And whatever financial statements are coming on this, how could he certify the stock, and why should we get certificate from that chartered accountant for the closing stock? That is why. So, this is perception of authorities. These are the disciplinary cases. Ashish bhai, are there any queries right now so that I can address? Now, again, Deputy ROC Delhi versus Shrikant Yadav. The respondent certified form number DIL 12 without verifying the director's interest. Allegation included negligence in certifying the incomplete form that was there. So I have discussed today all these cases with you just to highlight what exactly the perception of the authorities. Now, how can we prevent such errors in our office? Let us dwell upon this. How should we avoid all such inconsistencies in our office? There is one SQC1, quality control for the firms who are carrying on all activities, and mind it very carefully. SQC1 is not applicable only on audit, it is applicable on every single service which is being given by chartered accountant in practice. It clearly mentions that one of your partners should have leadership responsibility. He has to take, he should be a flag bearer of quality. He should ensure that quality control systems should be implemented in firm, not only implemented, they should be adhered to also. He will take actions whenever there is a breach of quality. He will give incentives whenever there is a quality work. He should review the whole quality system time and again and should ensure that firm is having quality control in its place. Clearly mentioned in SQC1. If SQC1 could have been implemented in these firms, these mistakes could have not been happened. Let me correlate in this way. The second one is whether to accept or continue the client engagement. Whether to accept or continue the client's engagement. That is the second pillar of quality control. Now, if someone comes to me to file INC 22, पहली बात, should I accept the work? What is fees? Whether that fees justifies my resources. At least 1 or 2 hours are required to finalize his form with all supportings. I need to tell you all them. So my 2 hours fees is justified, then only I will accept the work. If he's not paying me my 2 hours fee, I'm not going to have to fill this particular form because less fees does not allows me to tone down the quality. That is called quality control. Do we have per hour cost sheet of ours with us? What is our hourly rate? Our costing is first and foremost thing which we need to determine. What is my per hour rate and how much time me and my staff are going to devote on this? What is my rate? What is my skilled assistance rate? What is my semi skilled assistance hourly rate? What is my unskilled assistance hourly rate? And what is my infrastructure rate per hour? A very meticulous cost sheet has been prepared by one of my friend. I have been amazed to see what a cost sheet he prepared. Pune salary, electricity bill, telephone bill, internet bill, staff welfare, whatever head expenses he has in the firm, divided by 360, divided by 300 days, divided by 8 hours. Per hour rate of my office expenses is also being calculated. My hourly rate of my articles, hourly rate of mine, hourly rate of my semi qualified articles, employees, lot of overheads are there. सिर्फ ये कहने से काम नहीं चलता है कि भाई फीस कम है. इंपॉर्टेंट ये है कि आप उस कम फीस पे काम ही मत करो जो आपको कॉम्प्रोमाइज करवा रही है इन सब चीजों में. दैट इज मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट. दैट इज अ पार्ट ऑफ क्वालिटी कंट्रोल. Whether to accept or continue with the client. It is very important. Independence is one more part which has been uh, subject matter of today's discussion. Independence has two folds. One is independence of mind, one is independence in appearance. For example, if you have left a particular company and you have joined a chartered accountancy firm, you were CFO in a company, you just left that company and have joined a chartered accountancy firm. And then that chartered accountancy firm become auditor over there and you become the engagement partner for audit of that company. Now see, according to Companies Act, it is very clearly mentioned that the auditor should not be officer or employee of the company. In fact, it is written in the act itself. Agreed. Are you employee of the company right now? No. You are ex-employee of the company. Good. So as per law, independence of mind, which is pursued by the law, is that you are not employee? No problem. You are not influenced. So you can conduct the audit as per law. Now tell me, current year's figures and previous year figures both have been finalized by you as a CF. And now you have done your table and became the auditor of those figures which have been prepared by you. That means a self review threat lies over there. In that case, it is said that if you want to be free and you want appears to be free, at least 2 years, you should not involve in the audit of that company. At least 2 years. You should not involve in the audit of that company. It's very important. Self-review threat comes from here. Now see, law allows me, as you are not auditor, you are not officer of the company, law allows me. Just go with it. But independence in mind and independence in appearance, two different perspectives are there. So something has to be seen in between. So both independence of mind and independence in appearance is required. Another thing which comes in SQC1 and that requires human resources, culture of integrity, culture of honesty has to be there in the firm and with all the staff which are going. Are they being trained? Had they been told that integrity is first and foremost? Had they been told that quality first? Had they been told no concern could override the quality and integrity of the firm? Had they been told that small negligence could have these kind of repercussions which we had discussed today? Let us discuss with them. Let us ask them to read these disciplinary cases because from their perspective, this work has no meaning because, sir, you are not getting fees for this. And why should we invest this much time in this? So this has the same ethical issues. They are having the same disciplinary issues. They are having very significant ethical issues. So let us guide them that they should be vigilant enough. They should be having due diligence on every particular point because single mistake of theirs is not acceptable to lawmaking authorities, to law enforcing authorities, to authorities who are using our work and who are appointing us because we are chartered accountant and chartered accountants are always curate. That is their perception. So my today's talk was purely based on perception of authorities. And I have listed down all the uh, uh, cases which were not having crores of rupees of fraud or kind of misfeasance or breach of trust. One or two cases were breach of trust, but they were not significant. But more the talk was concerned about 100% accuracy because accuracy is absolute in our sense, our chartered account. So thank you very much for all of you who have patience hearing. And if any questions came in between, we can take up all such questions. Samir bhai, can you
Since we
please?
have some questions from our audience,
Yeah.
I will read it for you one by one. Uh, can a CA firm have virtual office and provide services from such virtual office?
As far as office definition is concerned in Chartered Accountants Act, an address which is given on the letterhead of a chartered accountant will be treated as office. According to Section 27, chartered accountant can have only one office. He can have branches, but those branches should be headed by a full-time practicing chartered accountant. He can have second office within the vicinity of 50 kilometers from the head office, from his office itself. These are the three things which are allowed under Section 27. Else is not yet involved. So we cannot have virtual office kind of thing for a chartered accountant where we can say it is my virtual office because virtual office concept is still not there in code of ethics. I think Ashish Bhai can vouch it.
Yes, sir. Sir, you are correct, sir. Virtual office, we are not having the concept of virtual office. The address has to be physical and it has to be registered with the ICI with the members in a student section. And so yet we are not having a concept of virtual office. Correct.
Yes.
Yes.
Uh, if there is a change of auditor, but the predecessor auditor is aware of the act or suspected act of NOCLER that has not yet been addressed, does the predecessor auditor have to communicate information concerning the NOCLER to a proposed auditor?
There is an explanation given in clause number 8 of the part first of the first schedule under the Code of Ethics, Volume 2, that see, we have been bound by the confidentiality. We should not share the information related to client to anyone. If incoming auditor is coming and resigning auditor has knowledge of certain serious irregularities relating to non-compliance of laws and regulation, he should broadly communicate them. What I'm saying is broadly communicate. Please mind my words. Should broadly communicate with him that there were certain irregularities which were hampering my uh, duty as an auditor. That's why I have resigned. We cannot upfront provide every information related to that irregularity to the client, to even if he's our friend enough. That professional colleague is our friend, even we cannot share it because it is confidentiality clauses there. We cannot share it anyone. But yes, we have to warn, we have to give red flag to him, we have to broadly explain him. I was not satisfied with the way company is working on these grounds or on these legal issues. That's it. Not every nitty gritty, every detail is required to be given.
Can a member in practice, being a director simpliciter in a company, also simultaneously provide management consultancy services to such company?
Yeah, let's understand this in this manner. You can become a non-executive director in a company. And becoming a non-executive director in a company, in what sense we are working? If suppose we are in a form of a nominee director from a bank, now what kind of service we can give to the uh, authority? Now, see, if bank has nominated us as a nominee director in the company, then definitely it's an independent position where we should not be compromised with our integrity. And any self-interest threat which comes in our way, that will be a problem. If you are an independent director, then no problem. आप कुछ भी नहीं कर सकते. You cannot enter into a single contract because you are an independent director. You should not have any pecuniary relationship with the company. So you should not accept a single assignment, whatever is whatsoever it is. So if you are not independent director, if you are not nominee director, if you are an additional director, you have been appointed as an additional director for some technicalities of the law or technicalities of the financial products or whatever products they are giving. Again, you are giving professional services to this company. And if you are giving professional services to the company, just analyze whether there is any of the threats attached to it. If the threats are attached to it, we should not accept the appointment. Otherwise, we can.
Next question. Whether partner of a firm of chartered account doing audit of an insurance company can accept the assignment of surveyor of the said company?
See, if you are accepting surveyor's responsibility, loss assessor's responsibility in an insurance company, whatever you have assessed as loss has been becoming a subject matter of the claim which has been settled by the insurance company. Whatever claim settled by the insurance company is based on your judgment. And being an auditor, if you are vouching for your own judgment, that would be called self-interest threat. So we should not accept the appointment in a company where we are loss assessor and now we are becoming an auditor.
What should be prerequisite for documentation when dealing with the safeguards for threats to fundamental principles?
Yeah. In every firm, we should have a documented policy. Say, for example, we'll have yearly and quarterly review of integrity of our independence of our staff, not integrity, independence of our staff. Regularly, one form is required to be filled and reviewed that all the partners, all the associate chartered accountants, all the semi-qualified articles and qualified articles, how they are investing, in what companies they are investing, on what, from where they have indebted, from where they have taken loan, from to whom they have given guarantee, because all conflict of interest should be at one place. So there is annual and quarterly or half yearly review system for every kind of staff, that he has to give information about all these interests, so that self-interest threat can be addressed in case of integrity and all that. So that kind of documentation is all there. What are the credit cards are used by the partner? What are the banks who are using credit card? What kind of internal audits we are doing? What kind of internal audits we are doing for the companies whose holding and subsidiary companies are there? So there is an inventory of documents which ensures that integrity is established in the firm itself. That part, that documentation is very significant, and in peer review, we find that that particular part of documentation sometimes in lacking. Sir, your mic is not audible.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Again, negligence. Some case studies have been explained by you. However, there are many instances which may result in lack of due diligence and negligence. What should be the thumb rule for dealing such misconduct?
Sir, thumb rule for dealing such misconduct is only that कोई भी काम छोटा और बड़ा नहीं है अगर आपके साइन हो रहे हैं. If your sign is there on any document that carries the same weight, being it is of 50,000 crore rupees balance sheet or it is meagerly 5 lakh rupees balance sheet. That is the only thing.
Can a statutory auditor of a company can accept internal auditor of related parties companies? That is, shareholding and director are common for both the companies.
See, it's very simple. Under Companies Act, there is clear-cut thumb rule that there are 5 companies which are affecting the auditor. It's a company, it's holding company, it's subsidiary company, it's associate company, and its fellow subsidiary company. These 5 companies, we need to take very good care of that we should not have any shares in it, any indebtedness is there, any guarantees there. And if you are director of any of these companies and you are becoming auditor of any of the companies in this web of 5, then there will definitely going to be compromise with the ethical requirements. So we should leave these 5 companies in itself. One is holding, one is subsidiary, one is associate, one is fellow subsidiary. So in that case, we should not be there. Anything else, for example, director has a common interest. A director has common interest in 2 companies, and if in one company we are conducting audit, can we conduct audit in second company? Yes, we can conduct audit in second company because it's related party of the director, not related party of the auditor. So we can conduct audit of those companies.
Well, sir, whether a preparation of partnership deed or certain affidavits or certain types of gift deeds or declaration is treated as legal service and to be given by CA.
No, these are drafting services which we are giving. We are just legally advising them that you have to, we are giving you a draft of all these things. Finally, they have to be on stamp paper from a notary and it has to be signed by the notary. So who is giving final signature and all that? It's those lawyers who are giving this. We are just assisting them in drafting the things and we can do that very well. There's no point in that.
Well, in the 2 cases of other misconduct mentioned in the presentation, one may find that punishments granted, vice versa seriousness of offense, do not seem to be comparable or equitable. In one case, only repayment and other maximum punishment under first schedule when offenses are equally serious in both cases. How can this be standardized?
Sir, this has been standardized in itself. We cannot question our disciplinary committee and board of discipline. I have just a gist of those cases. If you go to those cases are of 50 pages, 40 pages, 30 pages. Grounds are there, circumstances are there. So I have not explained everything about the whatever the guilty of misconduct is there. Because magnitude of misconduct cannot be judged from these slides. We require to read out in thoroughly those cases which have been given. So if we read those cases, we can definitely get the things why a member has only been reprimanded and why the member has been punished for seriously for that particular thing. So magnitude, intention, motive, all such things have been considered as the judiciary considers everything. Our disciplinary committee and board of discipline is also considering the same.
Asim sir, last question now. Can CAs provide service in POSCO matters by advising clients on compliance requirements, represent client before authorities, courts, give opinion on legal liabilities in specific cases? What are the laws other than Income Tax Act, Companies Act, GST Act, which can be practiced by CAs without being an advocate?
Look, there are certain high court cases where special requirement of chartered accountant is needed. Sometimes high court advocates, Supreme Court advocates takes us along with them in court. They get permission from judge that though he is not advocate, but he is representing me because of the technicalities of the law, because of the technicalities of accounting, because of the technicalities of spatial nature, which I could not explain better to you. So you can have explanation from him. Some of my friends have been assisted in Supreme Court itself to the Supreme Court lawyers in their dealing with the cases. So we will never going to be in Supreme Court or High Court as an advocate. We cannot do because we don't have any certificate of practice. But I know many of the chartered accountants who are continuously assisting the Supreme Court lawyers and High Court lawyers in their hearing. They stand by them, they guide them, they advise them, and on their advice, the things are being happening our way. So that may be the our limitation. We cannot straightforward go to Supreme Court or High Court in that case. Yes, wherever it is allowed, we are doing it. All tribunals we are appearing. In all NCLTs and all there we are appearing. But something which is only for meant for liar, we can go with them, we can assist with them, we can even represent their client on their behalf if allowed by the court.
Well, Asim sir, you have shared the wisdom knowledge very wonderfully and very calm and quiet manners in simple language. It's really privilege for me to share the screen as a moderator with you in this webinar. Thanks on behalf of all the participants, and now I will hand over to Ashish sir for formal vote of thanks. Over to you, Ashish sir.
You,
Yeah.
Samir bhai.
Thank you, sir. I thank C. Asim Trivedi sir for the wonderful session on this contemporary topic. And I also thank CA Samir Ladda ji, the past chairman of Pune branch, for coordinating this event so well. I also thank Chairman sir for his opening remarks on this issue and for his guidance on the topic of the webcast. I also thank Vice Chairman sir for in absentia. I thank all the members for watching this webcast, and they have watched the webcast in large numbers. Any queries on the issue may be sent to esb@ici.in. Some queries we had already received during the event, but any subsequent queries may be sent at esb@icai.in. Please keep watching the webcast of Ethical Standard Board. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ashish bhai. Thank you, Samir ji.